When I close my eyes, I can still see it. The Maldives, where the soft sand is as white as snow, where palm trees sway in the warm breeze. The water is so blue you can't stop smiling, and where the Vahin, local guardians of the islands, show us their world. And what if I told you that some of the most unforgettable experiences here don't happen on land at all? They happen out at sea.
The Maldives is one of the richest marine ecosystems on Earth. Formed millions of years ago from sinking volcanic mountains, these coral atolls, which are a collection of islands creating shallow lagoons, deep ocean channels, and warm, nutrient-rich waters, the perfect conditions for extraordinary marine life to thrive.
Hey friends, we're Melvin and Melissa, two doctors based in the UK with a passion for wellness, culture and adventure. In this video of our Maldives series, we are going on a journey to Vaavu Atoll. From floating with nurse sharks to swimming with dolphins, meeting stingrays to exploring a gorgeous sandbank, we'll share when to visit, where to stay, costs along the way and quick tips to help you plan your adventure.
Good morning. It is now 5:15 a.m. so we woke up. We're going to go for breakfast at 6. So they made us breakfast in the morning, and after we've had our breakfast, it's just a 5-minute walk over to the site where we're going to meet at Shadow Palm Tours, and that's where we're going to meet the rest of our group, hop on that boat and then go on to our Vaavu Atoll excursion today.
Our day began just after sunrise. The island was still quiet. The air hung heavy with salt. Our guest house had kindly packed breakfast for us so we could eat on the go. Roshi, mashuni, omelette and pancakes. We walked through sandy lanes to the excursion office to collect our snorkel equipment.
Morning. Thank you.
We then walked to the harbour where our boat rocked gently against the jetty. There was a small group of us that morning, some excited, some nervous, all quietly hoping for something extraordinary. The guides gave us a short briefing and reminded us of something important. Nature offers no guarantees, but if we respect the ocean, she might just bless us with magical moments.
We arrived at our first stop. The guides asked us to sit quietly at the edge of the boat. One by one, we were told to enter the water, just to float. Beneath the glassy water, dark shapes moved slowly through the blue. Nurse sharks. They were far bigger than I expected. My heart was pounding as I slipped into the water. I floated still, eyes closed, trying to steady my breathing. And then I felt it. A gentle brush. A smooth body gliding past. Another. And another. Their movements calm, unhurried, almost curious. For a moment, every instinct screamed fear. I could feel the hairs of my body standing up. But slowly, that fear softened when I realized I was still alive. Nurse sharks, despite their intimidating appearance, are among the most docile sharks in the ocean. They feed mainly on small fish and crustaceans, using sensory barbels to locate prey, then use powerful suctions aided by the large pharynx to pull prey from rocks or sand. As bottom-dweller predators, they regulate the population of invertebrates and small fish, maintaining the health and diversity of coral reef ecosystems. They are generally quite harmless to humans when unprovoked, but we were told to watch our fingers as they may not be able to differentiate them from small fish. We were then allowed to gently swim alongside them. I slowly opened my eyes and saw a myriad of nurse sharks, stingrays, and reef fish. The sharks move like silent guardians of the sea, fear transformed into quiet wonder and awe.
climbed back onto the boat, still buzzing with adrenaline. But the ocean had more surprises waiting. Soon after, someone exclaimed, "Dolphins!" Ahead of us, a pod of wild spinner dolphins appeared, surfacing and leaping beside the boat. The guide slowed the engine and we quickly entered the water. Swimming with wild dolphins in the ocean felt surreal. They moved effortlessly, darting past like flashes of silver. Some spun in mid-air before diving, the behavior that gives them their name. Scientists believe these spins may help remove parasites or communicate with the pod. After some time, we climbed back onto the boat, still in disbelief. But then, as if the ocean wanted to make the moment even more magical, another pod appeared. A second encounter. We jumped into the water again, 2 separate pods of dolphins in one morning. It truly felt like a dream.
Our next stop was the island of Fulidhoo, a small local fishing island known for its peaceful rhythm of life and strong traditional Maldivian culture. Fulidhoo offers a glimpse into authentic island living, wooden donny boats, fishermen mending nets, and chill coffee shops lining sandy lanes. But just offshore lies one of its most magical experiences. As we stepped into the shallow lagoon, we noticed dark shapes gliding beneath the water. Stingrays, dozens of them, moving like flying carpets across the seabed. Stingrays are gentle bottom feeders, using electroreceptors to detect prey hidden under sand. Despite the name, they're not aggressive and only use their tail barb defensively. Standing in knee-deep water, watching them circle gracefully around us felt surreal, almost like stepping into another world.
So we had to walk through the water and I completely stopped. We're actually heading towards that side to take some photos with the stingrays.
So we're just waiting for our turn to see some of the stingrays? Stingrays at the beach side. So this is Fulidhoo, one of the local islands. So you obviously have to wear you have to wear clothing to cover up, so you can't show your shoulders, can't show your knees. So we actually had to land on the sand and then jump in the water. That's why like the lower half is wet because we had to jump in and then they pass us our stuff and then we just wade through the water. But it's just so beautiful sitting here. There's no words to describe how blue everything is. The water is just...
It looks kind of like Gatorade. And the sand here is so fine. It's like so soft.
So apparently what they say is that you can go around the area and stingrays can touch you, but you're not supposed to touch it, as with any wildlife.
But then they're also called like the ocean puppies because they're quite friendly. They
Yeah.
talk to you. We'll see.
Yellow speeding. Just feels so calm sitting on this beach here. Just listening to the waves crash behind. Oh yes. What would make this is if I have a hammock, like just lie
And a
underneath.
coconut.
Yes, and a coconut. We're already under a coconut tree, but I don't think there's a coconut up there. Oh, there are coconuts up there.
After leaving Fulidhoo, we had lunch right on the boat. The afternoon sun was intense, so staying on board was the most comfortable option. We sat together eating simple but delicious local food, sharing stories with people who had been strangers just hours before. Sometimes, the best travel moments aren't about the wildlife, but the human connections formed along the way.
Tuna and
Our final stop was a sandbar, a narrow strip of white sand rising from endless turquoise water and the horizon in every direction. These sandbars form naturally as ocean currents deposit coral sand over time. They can shift and disappear seasonally. A reminder of how dynamic and fragile these ecosystems are. Walking barefoot here, with water lapping gently around us, felt like standing in the middle of the ocean itself.
my new fashion statement.
So we're now on the sandbank.
It's so pretty.
Yeah.
I feel like I've said that so many times, like the water's so blue.
I mean, it is really pretty.
With this side.
To either side, look at that. Look at how blue, turquoise the water is. And it goes in gradients. It's like light blue, then darker blue, and navy, and so on. It's just absolutely beautiful.
Take my hand down, I promise that you'll see me.
As the sun lowered, we began the journey back. The sea now glowed golden. Everyone was quieter, tired, but deeply content. Because days like these are incredibly special. To witness the wonder of creation and to share that connection with nature, the ocean, and each other.
Hey friends, so the most popular question would be where to stay for this excursion. Now there are many local islands that actually run these excursions, and usually you can book it through your guest house, your hotels, or you could go to the local tour operators yourself. The islands that we did it from was actually Vaavu, which is one of the most popular local islands. It's only about a 45-minute speedboat journey from Malé, which is the capital. It's so pretty, look at the blue water. This is literally right next to the airport, and look at the water. Oh gosh, it's pretty.
Airport right there, and then the boat is here.
Come on in. So this is our lovely place. This is the bedroom. Very simple, but the people here are so nice. He is like a personal butler, I would say. It's so nice. Yeah, so we've got everything we need. I think like there's a kettle there, some water, hair dryer, and then here there's like a small bathroom, some towels, and they clean the room anytime you want. Pretty good. Simple, but pretty comfortable.
And they made us breakfast.
Yeah, so basically we came late because our flight was delayed from Doha, and it's way past the breakfast time. But then he said that he'll make breakfast for us now, like specially. That's so nice of him. Yeah, that's so sweet. On this island, it's known for quite affordable excursions, so all the tours are actually quite capped at similar prices, like no matter which operator you go to.
Yeah.
And it's very convenient because it's quite built up for the tourists with quite a lot of infrastructure. And then the other popular local island that you can do it from is Fulidhoo. So Fulidhoo is located in the Vaavu Atoll, where all these stops are. So it's a shorter travel distance from your hotel or your guest house, and usually it costs about the same price or even slightly cheaper. And Fulidhoo is smaller. Some people say it's actually a more like authentic feel because it's not as built up as Vaavu. So you get a more local atmosphere, and it's a shorter distance to the different spots. And then other places include like Fulidhoo, all the different local islands on the Vaavu Atoll. You can also go for these excursions.
In terms of price, what we did was we went to Vaavu, and on Vaavu, as Melissa said earlier, all of the tour operators have some form of informal agreement whereby all of the prices of the different tours are the same, but one crucial difference is that the quality of the tours might be different from operator to operator. So for this Vaavu Atoll tour to see the whale sharks and the dolphins and things like that.
Not the whale shark, the nurse shark.
Sorry. This Vaavu Atoll
Sneak peek
tour
for the next video.
This Vaavu Atoll tour to see the nurse sharks and dolphins and stingrays, that is $60, and this includes the speedboat transfer, all your guides, GoPro footage, and if you add a little extra, I think $30, you also get drone footage, which is I would highly recommend, to be honest with you,
Yeah, I think
for
it's
the
quite
price,
nice to have
because
like
they have really good quality drones,
souvenir.
and yes, it's a good souvenir as well as sort of memories for yourself.
Because most islands, I think it's not very clear cut on whether or not you can use your own drone. Some of them do allow, some don't, but these ones, they take it for you, and we thought it was quite good value, like for the price you pay. If you do pay with card, then it's usually about a 4% charge higher. When is the best time to visit? For these excursions, usually the excursion actually runs year-round, but in general, the Maldives is actually has two main seasons: the dry season, which runs from November to April, and then the wet season, which is from May to October. So in the dry season, there's usually calmer seas. Usually it's drier, as the name suggests. So there's better visibility, less rain, and more comfortable conditions to actually view the wildlife. However, having said that, we visited during the dry season, and there were a few days where the weather was actually quite rainy as well. So it although in general it's more dry, you can have occasional rains. And then on the wet season, there is actually slightly more marine life activity just because with the rain, it actually draws more plankton, and a lot of the marine life actually come to certain areas, and especially like things like whale sharks and manta rays. These are actually quite high in the wet season. However, during the wet season, there can be rougher seas, and sometimes because of the rain and the rough currents, it can also cause less visibility underwater.
And no matter what season you choose to come, I would say advise to add an extra few days just as leeway, because you might not see what you want to see on the days that you have planned. So if you have an extra days at the start or at the end, then that gives you a little bit of leeway as to whether or not you could go on a certain excursion second time or on a different day if the weather is bad. Because when you arrive for the excursion, sometimes they can be cancelled because of bad weather, just because the tour operators don't want to bring you out only for you to see nothing, go on a very rough boat ride and then come back and be disappointed. So I think they're very mindful of, you know, the good quality and experience they provide to their guests.
Yeah, having said that, nature obviously is unpredictable. So sometimes even though you have the perfect conditions, sometimes you may not be able to see the wildlife that you want, but always go with an open mind, and you never know.
100%. And then if you're thinking about connectivity while you're there, a lot of the UK operators don't actually offer roaming in places like the Maldives. So you might need to get an additional SIM. So what we use was Airalo. This is an eSIM that you can buy beforehand for a certain amount of data. So what we got is 30 gigabytes of data, and you can use that over a 30-day period. So we were there for obviously shorter than 30 days, but it would be able to be used for the entire 30-day period for a set amount. And I think it was quite good because it was available on even on some of the speedboat rides to different islands. I could still access my internet, I could still go on WhatsApp, I could still search things up, and I feel that connection is really important, especially if you need to access your emails for emergencies or you need to search things up real quick.
Yeah, and it's also pretty convenient because it's unlike a traditional SIM card where you need the physical card and like remove your SIM from your phone or your mobile. This is an eSIM, so there is no physical card.
Yeah, so the eSIM is good because if your phone only has one SIM card, as most phones do, then you won't be able to add an additional SIM card, but you can add multiple different eSIM cards.
While still accessing like different things like your WhatsApp with your own personal number.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we link below if you want to sign up for that.
With a discount
code as well.
And then the next thing is travel insurance. So this is quite important, as we found out the hard way. So we do have travel insurance, but because we actually flew from Manchester, we took a connecting flight, transited in Doha, and then arrived in the Maldives. But because there was bad weather, we actually were stuck in Doha for about 17 hours before we could get to the Maldives.
Hello friends. So something happened. I thought that everything was going to be smooth, and I told Melissa that she didn't need to pack extra bags for me and extra change of clothes. Yeah. But what happened was there was fog in our transit airport in Qatar, and because of that,
all places, like fog in the desert.
Yeah, it's
Strange.
just quite strange.
And there was a technical problem with our plane, which was kind of scary, but I was half asleep because I came right after like a stretch of night shift, so I was like kind of delirious and like sleep deprived. And then we actually landed in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, and then
Which was
Saudi Arabia.
instead of
We're
Qatar,
supposed- yeah.
which was like quite
like a random airport in Saudi Arabia.
I thought
that
we had to
never
jump
heard
off the plane like into the sea or something when they said there was a technical problem. But then we basically landed in Saudi Arabia, and then they fixed some of the logistic people. I mean the technical men on the ground came to fix the plane, and then refueled, and then we flew back to Qatar. But guess what? We missed all the transit flights. I mean, we missed our transit flight and then the next one because it was so delayed. So now we have to wait about, I think, is it 15 or 17 hours,
17
something
and a
like
half
that.
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have this tiny little bunk bed.
Yeah, at least we got
Pod.
somewhere to, please ignore the mess. It's pretty bad. It kind of feels like a sleeper cabin, like in the train. But yeah, they're like fully booked with all the hotels, airport hotels, because apparently like 20 to 30 planes were delayed and they were just like circling around. So everybody's pretty frustrated and like upset, but
We'll update you as we go along.
I mean, this is why we thought sort of like travel insurance is really important, because you get compensation for the time that you were there and the the things that you need to spend on. But also, because we spent such a long time in the airport, it was quite nice to actually have access to the lounge because we fly quite a lot. So we actually use the Amex Gold Card in the UK, and this you can use for paying like different things like your day-to-day activities like fuel, airfares, different things, and you actually rack up points, and these points you can actually use to pay for your flights. And because of that, you also earn like airway miles and Avios, which is what Qatar Airways uses, and you can build status on this, and therefore you get to use like the different lounges, especially in Doha Airport, which was absolutely life-changing if you have to spend 17 hours there because it comes with good food. Yeah,
and it comes with a shower as well. But also the Amex gives you travel insurance, which includes insurance if you miss your flight. So if you miss your flight and it's more than a 4-hour difference, they will then give you £200 per person for the UK Amex for you to pay for food, for accommodation, and for suitable clothing. So we managed to get that, and Amex really reimbursed me in like 3 days.
Yeah, and this is separate from the compensation from the airline itself. So you can apply for compensation from Qatar Airways or whichever airline you're flying with, and Amex will also compensate you separately, so you get it from both sides. In terms of like applying for Amex, this is for UK residents only for our specific link, which we'll put in the description below. But we think it's super valuable for money, even if you're not traveling, especially for traveling, because you get so many points, and like it's so valuable if you book flights with the points. But also in terms of the fees, in the first year, it's actually completely free.
And then £190 every year, but you get additional other perks as well.
What stayed with us the most was not just the wildlife, but the feeling of being part of something bigger. A reminder that the ocean is not ours to control, only to respect. And sometimes, when we step into the unknown, we discover moments that stay with us forever.
If you enjoyed this video, do like and subscribe as we explore more of the Maldives. Do comment down below which was your favorite part of this video. And in the meantime, check out this one on the beautiful Santorini. See you on the next adventure. Bye.